You're showing us the way.
Go ahead, Kim.
Good morning, Mr. Man.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. My name is Kimberly Holmes Ross, and I work for Evanston Cradle to Career. And I'm here with the Advocates for Action and our community coffee. So thank you for joining us. Please text a friend, call a friend, share this video. We will be here with you each and every Saturday to bring you information, to have resources and referrals for you, let you know what's happening in the community, in the nation, around town, everywhere. We just want to keep you informed and connected, and that's our job. Evanston Cradle to Career works with over 40 partner agencies here in Evanston to make our city the most fair and equitable city it can be. So part of that is working with the community and making sure the community is always informed, always in the know and up to date. So we are excited to be here this morning. Today we will be talking about normalizing mental health in the Black community. That's a big one. That's a big one. So we are excited. We have a few advocates here with us. Every Saturday it's a different format. Each advocate will be responsible for a Saturday and responsible for a topic. This Saturday is going to be Demita, but we also have Mr. Glenn Mackey joining us. I want to say, hey, Glenn. And we have Tiffany, who joined us all the way from Atlanta. We're just a little jealous. Be careful. We know they opened up the world out there. But thank you for taking the time, Tiffany, and joining us. And then we have Demita. Demita is a licensed professional counselor. She is our resident therapist. She works on the mental health board. Well, she's a member of the mental health board. And most importantly, she is an advocate for action. So Demita is going to come on and tell us about mental health. And we know it's okay not to be okay. What to do, what's next. We know it's okay not to be okay because we're not okay right now. But we are interested and excited to hear from Demita. So Demita, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Normalizing mental health in the Black community, especially during this climate, is very important. Unfortunately, mental health has not always been something that was accepted in our community or even seen as something that we should even talk about. I know many of us can contest to growing up with parents or family members telling us that, going to see a therapist is only for crazy people, or telling our business outside his home definitely was not something that we were supposed to be doing. I want to let everyone know that therapist or a counselor is a very important part of our mental health, and it does not have to do with a specific diagnosis. There are some people who just have no one else to talk to about all these feelings and emotions that they're having. And if they're not allowed to talk about them or express them in some kind of therapeutic way, it's usually detrimental to their health. It will definitely manifest physically. In this climate, I will tell you that I've had more Black people sign up to come and see me just to try to deal with everything that's going on. But depression and anxiety does not show up the same way in the Black community as it may for other ethnicities. For one of the biggest things is being angry all the time or for no reason, feeling sluggish, not wanting to deal with going to work, dealing with your family. The difference with us is we guilt ourselves. When we feel this way, we don't say, okay, I need a mental health day. How many Black people can honestly say that they actually have taken a mental health day when needed? because we always feel like we have to keep going and going and going. And a lot of times, our unhealthy coping skill is just to continue to pile work on top of us or to keep ourselves busy so that we don't have time to think about the things that's causing us pain or angst or depression. I want to let you all know that if you must take a day off and call it mental health, call it a sick day, that we should not be afraid to advocate for ourselves in the workforce. To let our employers know that we need time for us, for me. We aren't any good to anyone if we're not good in our mental health state. I know that in this era, people have been angry and, not wanting to talk to anyone, secluding themselves. And this is the time to hold on tight to your mental health. Getting to see a counselor is something that I recommend for everyone, for kids, for adults. It doesn't mean you have to carry on for years. You might just need to work through some issues that are immediate or some things that have trickled down through your past. But nonetheless, I want to encourage all Black people to take their mental health seriously. Again, it has nothing to do with a disorder or talking about your family business. But if your mental health isn't intact, it definitely will affect your physical state. There's a lot of breathing techniques that are offered to help with stress. And there are things just as simple as taking a break and taking a walk. I like to simplify it more so that people don't think that if I can't afford a therapist, I don't have time for a therapist, that I can't help myself. If you're in a situation where you're just feeling like you can't deal with everything that's going on right now, if you can't go outside and walk around the block or sit in your car, just find a space in the house or building that you're in where no one else is around. Go into that space, close your eyes, breathe in and breathe out very slowly for at least 5 minutes. And that will help you center yourself and calm down. I also want to let you know that nowadays, more of our kids are needing mental health services as well. But we have to be careful that our children are not labeled with things that aren't really going on. A lot of times, again, they don't know how to express themselves, so they express themselves through their feelings, being angry, becoming withdrawn, changing who they hang around. I want you all to really pay close attention to our kids in that way. Anything that seems different about them, don't always count it as, oh, they're just acting up, or I don't know what's wrong with them. Make yourself available to talk to the kids and see what's really going on with them. There are plenty of services actually here in Evanston that would provide mental health services for the kids at no cost or minimal cost. Family Institute, for one. Mental health should not be seen as something that's taboo or as something that only the other people do. It's just not a place for people to come and just complain about how bad their life is. It's really a place for people to feel comfortable and open up about the things that they're having trouble with that's affecting them in their life. And I became a mental health therapist because I saw that, first of all, it's not a lot of us in the field. And I do realize that a lot of people in the Black community wouldn't even think about going to see a therapist if they don't see us. If we're not represented, a lot of people don't feel comfortable in telling their deepest feelings or issues to someone they feel cannot connect with them. So I encourage you, we are out here. You can even search for us with that, saying African American therapist or Black therapist, and there's a long list of places and people you can go to seek out help. I'd rather have us or someone think that you're going to a therapist because they think something is wrong with you than you not seeking help and actually making yourself sick and not being able to take care of your family or yourself. Mental health has really come in the forefront in the last probably 5 to 10 years, where no one really talked about it in our community before, but I am definitely an advocate of mental health in all aspects. I believe in trying all different methods. I also use art therapy, which usually helps a lot with kids. You know, kids don't like to just talk one-on-one about what's going on with them. But I find if you give them an outlet to express themselves through art, through drawing, playing games, eventually they'll feel comfortable enough to talk to you about what's going on. And you can actually do this yourself, parents or teachers, to kind of help get inside their head a little bit. I definitely don't advocate people not at least going to seek mental help because they're afraid of the stigma. For too long, the Black community has not sought help in different areas, especially in schools for fear of the stigma. Please don't do that. Please go and see someone. And it could be something simple that you can work out, you know, with a couple of sessions, or maybe you need to go longer. But the point of the matter is your mental health is very important. And it's time that the Black community takes their mental health as serious as they would do anything else. Thank you.
Man, thank you, Jamita. And I'm so glad to hear that you are seeing more and more, even in your practice, Black people coming and seeking services. We are hurting right now, and we have to know that it's all right to hurt, but we have to take care of our mental wellness. Jamita, can you please get in the comments for us where you can search for Black therapists and Black counselors? Because we know sometimes that's the issue. Sometimes we want to talk to us and see us. And if that's the case, Demita's telling us that there are places to go. So please, you guys, if you think you need some help, let's go get it, okay? We're going to get that information in the comments. We've had a couple more advocates join us. Hey, Sandra. Hey, T. Thanks for coming on this morning. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk to Chef Alexa, and we're going to hear about her mental health journey. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, my name is Daisy Copeland, and I'm 40 years old. I'm a working mom of 2 girls. I'm married, and I live here in Evanston, Illinois. I decided to become a member of Advocates for Action because I found that it was a really innovative way to get involved in the community, basically recognizing that as a citizen, you don't necessarily have to have a title or a leadership position to empower yourself and be an active voice and make change.
My name is Glenn Mackey, and happily married, and I'm a father of a daughter. The Advocates for Action, I think, basically, to make it really simple, they're a group of concerned residents, citizens of Evanston, that have got together, organized ourselves, educated ourselves, and started a process of continuous learning and understanding and incorporating different ideas into our environment so we can start liberating people and educating people.
The approach that I wanted to have as it pertains to the model of training for Advocates for Action, we call it the 4 Ds. It is training for Advocates for Action.
I'm an advocate.
Oh, thank you. Again, that great video was put together by a former advocate, Mr. Adrian Dortch. We always want to give him a shout out. I love that video. Okay, so up next, we have Chef Alexa Roberts. Alexa was a student of mine. Once upon a time, for about a decade of my professional career, I was at Orr High School. And Alexa was one of my students. And actually, she's a teen mom, and she has come such a long, long way. I am so proud of her. I'm bursting. I want to tell her story, but I'm going to let her tell it. But she's going to share with us her mental health journey and kind of where she's at now. So, Alexa, mwah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So, my name is Alexa, and the name of my business is The Remedy. I am a nutrition educator, chef, and consultant that specializes in holistic nutrition and therapy. I believe that without one, you cannot thrive without the other, which is mind, body, and soul. And unlike Western medicine, holistic therapy equally focuses on the physical and the mental health aspect. Before I get into my business a little bit more, I want to first discuss with you my journey with mental illness, which is anxiety. Looking back, I would say as a child, I think I had anxiety. What caused it? Not sure, but I definitely did mildly. It wasn't until I was a teenager when I went through a few experiences that were very traumatic for me that I realized I had an issue within myself, but I still did not identify that it was anxiety because mental illness, for my household at least, was not one of those things that we discussed. So it wasn't until I was about 18 years old. I was 4 months pregnant with my son. And at the time, I thought I was having a seizure. In and out the hospital for 2 years, did every test known to man, blood work, CT scans, MRIs, spinal taps, you name it. They're like, Miss Roberts, you're healthy as a horse. Nothing's wrong with you. You're not having seizures. So it literally took for me to go to the emergency room one day because it gotten so bad. It just was overwhelming. I literally felt myself praying for God to just end it because here I am. I know something's wrong. I'm steady going to the doctor that's telling me nothing's wrong. And they've done nothing but try to shove prescription medication down my throat, which wasn't working. It was making it worse. And I just went to the emergency room as a last hope type of thing. And I think the lady wasn't even done with her internship. I think she was interning, and she pretty much told me, you're not having seizures. We see that. You're having panic attacks that come with convulsions, which I never knew could happen. And I did my own research. And also while I was there at the emergency room, she gave me a pamphlet of different counselors and therapists that could possibly assist me because I was not interested in medication. So I went to this therapist, and it was crazy because I had normalized, like a lot of us do, traumatic experiences so much that I didn't realize that I was suffering from PTSD as well from different situations I had been in. And as I'm breaking down all these barriers with this therapist and just finally getting some type of normalization with what I was going through, she did the best thing for me, which was gave me a flyer for this group of individuals that would meet every Friday evening to discuss their mental illness, whether it was anxiety, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, mild to severe. It was a collective of about 13 of us. We would meet weekly and we would discuss what we were going through. And it was a beautiful thing. And like I said, the best thing she could have done for me, because for once in my life, I think I had been dealing with this for 4 years. I finally felt like I wasn't a weirdo, a freak, someone who, you know, was alone. And it was an incredible thing because here are all these other people being vulnerable with me and expressing what they've been going through. So that there for me gave me the courage and the inspiration to fight. of course, not just for physically, but mentally to fight for my freedom, my mental freedom. And I started doing research about how to relieve anxiety in a natural way or an alternative way, which wasn't Western medicine. And that's when I stumbled across certain words and phrases like holistic care, aromatherapy, and then I dug deeper and researched more about what different herbs that's locally in a farmer's market or your local grocery store that helps with what I was going through. Um, I will say, unfortunately, there is no cure, I would say, for mental illness, but there is definitely a way to have it where you can deal with your mental illness and still move through life without it hindering what you need to do just to be yourself. I will definitely say it helped a lot. And over the last couple years, I've tried everything from relaxation rituals to aromatherapy, oil diffusers, different herbal drinks. Even my eating habits have changed significantly. I'm not vegan or anything. I don't think I can ever be. But there are certain things I realized in my diet that was triggering my panic attacks. I would say I used to have panic attacks with convulsions 5 to 10 times a week. Now I have them once a year, if that. So that's, to me, that's beautiful. That's great because no one wants to be in panic all the time. But that is what takes me to my business, which is the Remedy. Um, it's all about assisting those with mental illness or even to just take the edge off of life in a natural way because with or without mental illness, life is stressful and stress is inevitable. Whether it's good stress or bad stress is going to happen.
For coming. So that is a young black and lit station. They're giving away. Sorry, I'm talking for you. But over here we have the Juneteenth yard signs and the Black Lives Matter merchandise.
Okay, I'm back. So pretty much the Remedy assists those who need assistance with mind, body, and soul. One thing that I will be soon selling, which will be July 1st, I'm starting off with my tea line. I have two different teas. One tea is specifically for those who suffer from anxiety, depression, and insomnia. What it is a concoction and a combination of different herbs that assist you with the little things. Those who suffer from mental illness know exactly what I mean by it is a piece of heaven to just get a good night of sleep. Um, so it assists with that and it also relaxes you for you to have a good productive day for the next day. Pretty much knocking the edge off of any depression that you may be feeling or anxious feelings. Another tea that I am doing is called Let It Go, and it pretty much cleanses your intestines and your colon. One thing I've learned through alternative medicine and holistic care is that all disease and illness starts within the colon. So if you have a lot of built up toxins, parasites from eating things like pork and beef within your system, the tea that I have put together cleanses your intestines and your colons of that. And it also releases you to be able to have a bowel movement as well. And then I also will be selling sage bundles, which is sometimes used as a spiritual tool, but if that's not your go-to, that's perfectly fine. Sage is scientifically proven to cleanse your air, to clear it of dust and bad bacteria. So it's good for that. And quarterly, I will be releasing different products for holistic care, such as skin and body care, really focusing on the aromatherapy aspect. So quarterly, I'll try to introduce different segments for people to try, whether it's your diet, skincare, all of those things to assist with mental illness. And I will also be soon getting together a YouTube page just to have it where people can see the different relaxation rituals that I do have to relax you, and also from Demita, how you can go and see where you can go to get assistance, because a lot of times that information is not accessible like people would think. It took me years to be able to find a therapist that would take my insurance, because at the time I had Medicaid and there was no one taking anyone at the time. So sometimes that can be a struggle when you do realize you need help, but it's like, who do I go and talk to if I don't want, prescription drugs? So down below in the comments, I will leave where you can contact me if you are interested on just knowing how to get more assistance, or if you would like to purchase any of my products, or just stay in tune with what I have to offer. I hope that this information was informational to you guys, and thank you so much.
No,
for
Alexa,
having me.
thank you, Alexa. Look, all grown up. Thank you. That was amazing. I'm gonna need to let it go. I'm gonna need to get some sleep, and then I'm gonna need to get some sage and clean the air. So please, in the comments before we get off the air, let us know how to contact you. Thank you for sharing your story. I mean, we all know life is stressful and we need to take the edge off, and we have to figure that out, whether it be a holistic path or, like Demita told us, taking a walk, finding a place, or really finding that right person to talk to, that right professional person. Before we get off the air, because I know it's almost time for us to go, Mr. Man, next week is Juneteenth, but in Evanston, we're celebrating it all month. And we have, but I don't see her, Kamon Hendricks here with us, who actually is having a pop-up shop today. If you like a Juneteenth sign for your yard, she's having a pop-up shop down in Yo Fresh. I'm gonna let her tell you about it. And if you like my earrings, I don't know if you can see them, you can get some of those too. But come on real quick and tell us about it.
Absolutely. So we are here right now in front of Yo Fresh. This is a representative from Young Black and Lit. Wow. And we're doing a pop-up shop in support of the Juneteenth parade that's coming up. So we have Yo Fresh here that is giving out free children's book that features all Black characters. They are a nonprofit organization here in Evanston. Yay, thank you guys so much for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
And then I'm gonna move on over here where we have are you guys able to see? Yeah? Okay, so where we have our Black Lives Matter jewelry, we have necklaces, we have earrings, we have also keychains, some more different types of earrings, and a whole bunch of Black Lives Matter merchandise. And we also have our yard signs here, if you'd like to purchase a yard sign. And of course, we have Yo Fresh, who is open for business right now, and they have gift cards and all types of yummy food. Please come out. We'll be here till 2 p.m. today.
Come on, thank you for jumping on and giving us that information. And come on, along with Young Black and Lit, I didn't get to say, hey, our first and second round grantees, yes, they won community building from Advocates for Action. So how apropos that you guys are on the show doing big things. We appreciate you so much. I got my yard sign in the yard. If you don't have your yard sign or some Black Lives Matter jewelry, come on down to Yo Fresh. Give us the
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Can you give us the address? Give us the address.
Oh, the Yo Fresh address is 635 Chicago Avenue in Evanston. We're here outside
635 by that
Chicago Avenue. Yes.
By the Super Walgreens, by the Chase. Y'all know where it's at. Come on down, get some froyo, grab your stuff, and get a book. Get a book for the kids. The kids been inside a long time. Get them off the screen, get a book, and enjoy your Saturday. Mr. Man?
Before we go, Kim, it seems like somebody raised their hand. I think it's Maki. Maki. I don't know if I pronounced the name right.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
Yes, Glenn. I just want to thank Demita because you know what? She really brought something to the table that culturally, we don't want to talk about our problems to anyone that doesn't look like us. And we find that in our community, we expand that non-trust in every facet of government, of policing, of food handling. If we don't see someone that looks like us, then we really are uncomfortable. And Ms. Roberts, I really enjoy what she brought to the table about holistic and things like that, because culturally, our Africanized culture, we don't trust Western medicine. We know that naturally we can heal, and a lot of times we don't look to heal naturally until we find out we're so far gone on pills and things like that. Simple things that we can do: relaxation therapy, go for a walk, take a breath. You see Asian cultures, they'll stand in the sun, they'll get that vitamin D, and then they'll do some light stretching, or they'll drink some type of water with bitter melon and detoxify. So I think, this is a really good anecdotal way for us to look at things, because with the rising I'm going to say trend of people getting hooked on opioids, people having all these other addictions that they didn't have before. COVID-19 has everybody stressed out to where they're tripping on each other and themselves. So yeah, I really love this whole approach with Demita showing everybody that, hey, look, you know what? If you don't have the money, it's okay. Go outside. I'm going to show you how to deep breathe. I'm going to show you how to walk. And Ms. Roberts is saying, well, look, you know what? On top of that, you don't have to take all this medicine. You don't have to look for relief in a pill. You can get a good night's rest. So I think that's something that we as a people need to embrace, because it's not that long ago where Black folks couldn't go to the doctor.
Right.
Right.
And Glenn, thank you for that, and thank you because and men especially, we know Black culture doesn't really go for the whole therapy thing and the mental health wellness, but we're seeing a lot of men now embracing their emotion, embracing needing to speak with somebody or to figure some stuff out. So I appreciate you as an advocate and as our male today, kind of summing that all up for us. So we hope you guys enjoyed the information. Check the comments for further information. Contact us. Leave a message on the page. Mr. Mann, as always, we appreciate you. And everybody have a wonderful Saturday.
You do the same, Kim. Thanks, everybody.
Listening to Evanston Cradle to Career Advocates for Action. Please join us again next Saturday for another show. Today's program was produced and broadcast by Radio La Difference.
Show